training partners. Here come your training partners. So smart, so strong, so funny. Let's go with your training partners.
Team, welcome to Training Partners, where two fitness professionals bring you strong takes held loosely. I'm Weezy Shoemaker, and I'm joined by Justin McClintock. And depending on when, in what order our episodes release, maybe this is the first time that you're seeing me in a different space. And if you're on the audio feed only, you're hearing me in a different space. So welcome to Sustained.
The people who can pick up like the reverb difference are the real those are people you have to worry about.
Right. Yeah, I'm in a much bigger room.
Yes.
Yes.
But it's the same mic. It's a different room. So it really would be like tuning into that little bit of reverb.
Right. It's I would say it's probably 10 times as large of a space, office wise, as I was in. I mean, I was in 100 square feet before, and this room is like 21 by 15. Like it's
a lot of room.
Cavernous. So a lot of space for echo. So if you can pick up on that, you might work in some sort of auditory field, or perhaps you're autistic.
Several things can be true at once.
Two things. Yeah. How are you, friend?
I'm good. It's felt like a very busy week, and I still feel behind, but it's partly because I like front loaded and gave myself a lot of things to do for the month that I'm like, when I'm successful, this week is hard and next week will probably be hard. And then all the weeks after that, in theory, should be a little easier because I'll have like a rolling system and batching things and all of that. But I'm kind of playing catch up. So it feels kind of crazy right now. Not in a bad way, but just in a very constantly busy way.
Right. Like it's a dense week.
Very, very much so. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel that. A lot of what I'm doing right now it feels big and stressful and important. And also I need to kind of constantly reorient to the fact that most of it is one-time stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm not going to have to deal with the HVAC people every month for the rest of the time here. And I'm not going to have to worry about like, oh, those drywall anchors got put in the wrong place, and so we have to move them. And so we have some patchwork and then some sanding and then some repainting. That's not going to be a part of the standard operations, hopefully. But it can be really tricky in the moment when you're looking at just the massive list of things that need to happen to like take a step back and remember, oh yeah, that might be true right now, but it's not going to be true 6 weeks from now.
Yeah, you're going to have a, every day, every week, every month list for the building and premises that is Sustained. And a lot of what you're doing now is once, or maybe like once a year or once every 2 years kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah. I'm also learning that landlords be landlording, man.
Early for that.
It's early for that. Yeah, I'm glad to know kind of on the front end, which, I mean, unless it's a mom and pop, like I kind of have an expectation of what a landlord is just going to be like full stop.
Parasitical monster. Yeah.
Right. But everything that I've needed them for, they've given me either no answer or a wrong answer, just like straight up incorrect.
Oh, sweet. So,
yeah, the best example that I can give of that is that I am required to have an HVAC maintenance contract, right?
Sure. Fair enough.
Every unit has their own HVAC unit. They're all on the roof. And they are accessible through like a code access door. And so I knew, hey, they're going to be coming in. Let's back up a step even more than that. When I was inquiring about, hey, what are the utilities I'm going to need to get turned on? This was now almost 3 weeks ago. They sent me a list, and of note said, unless you have a kitchen, you do not need to contact the gas company. I'm like, oh, sick. That's cool. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but like, I'm going to take you at your word. So have the code to let the HVAC people up on the ceiling. That code is incorrect. And they are here.
Okay.
It's just wrong. It's just totally wrong. And they
I could have guessed before, and I could have sent you that code. Like,
right.
I could send you the wrong code.
And so then, I call the senior property manager who did not answer, and I left him a voicemail saying, "Hey, I've got techs here right now. If you could give me a holler back. I see that you just replied to my email, so I know you're at the computer." Hasn't called me back. It's been like 36 hours. So then I became my least favorite version of myself, which is the version who has to talk to strangers who I need something from. Would not do well on The Amazing Race, needing to ask for like directions from somebody. Would probably just decide to be voted off. um, so pop next door to the salon that's immediately to my right. It's, "Hey, is Kendall here?" "No, she's at our other location." "Okay, great." And then I go to leave. She goes, "Do you need something?" I'm like, "I need to leave. I need to not be speaking to a person." Said, "Yeah, I've got some HVAC folks here, and the code that the property manager gave me to get into that area is wrong." She goes, "Ah, yeah, that sounds like them. I'm so sorry, I don't have the code, but let me know if you can't find it, and I will call Kendall." Okay, well, I'm not going to be doing that. So, when I I have already created enough inconvenience, I would sooner be absorbed into the
Right.
floor.
The inconvenience being speaking to you. Just to be clear, that's what we've imposed on somebody.
It's honestly like remarkable that I was able to do this at all. I was celebrating for basically the rest of the day that I was able to talk to a person.
Right.
Crazy. So I go to the other neighbor. Same thing. "Hey, is the owner here? We haven't met yet." "No, the owner's not here." I was like, "Okay, no problem." He goes, "But I might be able to help you. Seems like maybe you need something." "Okay, yeah." Um, I have an HVAC crew here trying to get up on the roof. He's, "Oh, yeah, we have all the codes just written on our fridge because every time we've ever needed the landlords, they've been wrong. And so we just keep like a list of the stuff somebody might need." It's like, "Oh, I see that you have learned the Jedi ways, sir."
Weezy makes a note. Refrigerator notes.
Refrigerator notes. And the bonus of this is that I met 2 more people and it was fine. So then they get up on the roof and they, of course, yesterday is the first day in Columbus that it's 1, cold, and 2, we haven't had rain in like almost 3 months and it's just pouring. Like
Bummer.
downpouring. And they spent several hours trying to figure out why the gas originated heat unit wouldn't engage. Can you see where I'm going with this?
Yep.
And come down, they were like, "We're not really sure what's happening. It could be your gas valve. Like happy to estimate out for that, but like not entirely sure what's happening." I said, "I know what's happening." And I'm so sorry that you just spent 3 hours on the roof in the rain for me to share with you that I was told there was not gas to this unit. It was fully electric. And so I have not called the gas company. And so it's likely that the gas is just not on.
No gas.
No
Is the
gas.
problem. Which, in fairness, is a hard thing to test for if everything else is working.
Yeah. Right. So I mean, they were so like understanding and
Oh,
hospitable
that's
and like
nice.
I'm so sorry that you were told that. Like they were able to look at some other things and they were able to like put in new filters and do some other
Okay.
things that they had planned to do anyway. And they are going to come back anyway because they're going to install a new thermostat. And so it's not like, wow, we're going from one necessary visit to now we have to make 2. We were already going to do 2.
Okay. Fair enough. But
Um, And they were so wonderful in their dealings, like within the appointment and also the follow up after they left. That in that follow up call, I said, "Hey, do you guys do residential? And if so, I'd just like to book and pay for that right now." So it's like, okay, yeah, we're gonna, I'm gonna tell everybody who needs somebody, these are the people to use, because I mean, they could have been like, okay, well, we'll have to charge you a service fee for this visit, even though we weren't able to do anything
Mm-hmm.
practically.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly
So,
the kind of thing as you revisit these neighbors or people follow up with codes like
oh
that.
yeah,
Like, as you well know, business owners love recommendations of someone who's, a service provider who's worthwhile and won't drag
yep,
you and won't run you in circles. Like, I don't know if you have someone you like, but I love these people. They were great.
right,
And now they'll start servicing the whole plaza, hopefully.
yeah. That's the hope. They also are not based in Columbus. They're like a good 45 minutes away.
Okay.
Um, Honestly, I have no idea how I found them. I was looking for somebody completely different, and I think I clicked on their link thinking it was them, and I called, and they were so lovely that here we are. So, um, yeah. But I
That's
have learned a
excellent.
very, very valuable lesson that the landlords are just there to take your money and
Yeah.
basically nothing else. So,
I have a pretty dim view of landlords in
yeah,
general. There is a segment. It is useful to be able to rent. It is
yeah,
useful and needed, and and I did it for the vast majority, all of my adult life, pretty much at this point, save for very recent history, and it's very useful. But there's a huge segment of the people who are doing the renting, the landlords, who that's just their whole job. It has just
yeah,
become a parasitical move to how much money can I squeeze out? How fast can I turn people over? How do
yeah.
we, if you ever want to like really have your stomach churn, go on like go find some like landlord forums, like Reddit
Nope.
landlord forums or things like that. People posting like, hey, this person did a perfect job and an immaculate sweep and they repainted everything. I don't see how I'm going to keep their security deposit. Tips welcome. Like, yeah, because landlords, I've never gotten a security deposit back from a landlord in my life. I never expected to, because that's just what happens. So I don't. My move is always to not pay the last month's rent. Like, you've got my last month.
Ooh.
What security deposit's a month's rent? You've already got it. Let me know if you need anything else. Because coming to get the money is a lot more work than keeping the money.
Oh, I love that so much.
Yeah, that was
Stick
definitely that
that
was
in my
definitely a New
back
York trick
pocket.
for sure. Yeah.
Mm, I like that. We're gonna tuck that in the Rolodex for later. But I notice you're drinking tea today. I'm also drinking tea today.
Are you okay? Or are you just trying to
Yeah.
hone in on my tea guy persona?
Um, we could be tea people.
Tea folk?
Really, I'm very excited because we installed the water fountain here, and it's one of those
Excellent.
fancy ones that will dispense hot. And
That's pretty cool.
it is in fact hot enough to brew tea. And so I can have tea without needing to wait for any water to heat.
You don't need a separate kettle. You certainly don't need like a
Yeah,
teapot or things like that. That's
right.
good. It also opens up the door for easy hot chocolate as things get colder.
That's right.
Hmm.
Many possibilities. Could also like become an oatmeal girly in this winter.
For sure. You know what? Related to this conversation, so you just got the cool um, hot water machine. I just purchased something that I've thought about purchasing for probably 15 years and always talked myself out of it, and finally decided that I should just get it. It's a kitchen appliance. Take two guesses. I
Is it an
always thought it was
espresso?
kind of silly, and then people who do this a lot, who I trust, swear by having one. I was like, okay, maybe it's not that silly.
Is it an espresso maker?
It is not, but that's a very good guess.
How often will you use it?
I bet once or twice a week.
Is it an air fryer?
No, I already have an air fryer. And weirdly, the oven in this new house has a convection setting, which
Oh.
I think effectively means it's a big air fryer, but it takes a while to heat up.
Yeah, right.
I bought myself a rice cooker, which I've
Oh.
never
Yeah,
had. And
I can see how you would talk yourself out of that.
I always thought it was kind of silly. Well, I used to be a minute rice guy. I was like, who has the time? I've been cooking more like jasmine rice and long grain rice lately, and it's always okay. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I cook a whole bunch of rice for like meal prep stuff, put it in a Tupperware,
Right.
eat it over the
Sure.
next, 3 to 5 days. But it's always like a little mushy, and I burn a little in the pan, and I'm like, I'm just not that great at it. And a number of people I know, friends of mine who eat lots of rice, swear by having a rice cooker. And I was finally like, you know what? I would like to, it's literally keeping me from preparing as much rice as I would prepare. The fact that I'm not great at it and it's a little annoying. I'm going to get this thing. And I thought of it because the rice cooker I bought also has an oatmeal setting. I know.
Wow.
So we'll see how that works out.
Look at you. You're in a new era of meal prep.
Rice cooking tea guy.
Rice cooking tea guy. Should we get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
So today I'm doing something that I've never done before, which is speaking without having any research to back it up, or speaking to anybody else about it. This is just literally from my brain. So if it's horribly wrong, yeah, this is like wildly out of my comfort zone. C does not want to speak to people. We're trying. So
I'm excited.
today I want to talk about the concept of honoring capacity. And so if that term means nothing to you listening, I would really strongly encourage you go back. It's probably 7 or 8 episodes back now. We did a full episode on load versus capacity that might be a better use of your time. And then this will still be here for you when you get back. Or the Cliff Notes version is that everybody is walking around with an imaginary bucket, and how full or empty it is dependent upon all the things that they have going on in their life and body and finances and relationships and how they fuel themselves. All of those things can either put water into your bucket or create a bigger bucket, basically. But if the bucket is full, we would call that not having any capacity left.
At your limit.
Right? I don't have any space in my bucket for things. And so I thought it might be helpful to talk a little bit today, because I think a lot of people get tripped up on this, myself included, on, okay, well, but how do I actually apply that when it comes down to it?
I think so. I didn't know what we were doing. Obviously, you haven't told anyone what you were doing, but I'm excited about this because this is potentially a little more practical than some of the theoretical stuff we occasionally talk about, right? It's all well and good to say, well, don't go over your capacity. But what happens when you're at 99% and 5% comes walking down the street being like, hey, I need to get in there? What's the move?
Right.
How do you do it?
What's the move?
What do you like, and not just get run over by the, excess stress that you're potentially taking on.
Right. And so when we talk about what is honoring capacity, we're honoring what is actually available to give. I can't make 1%, 5%. It's not possible. Right? If I have 1% left, and to your point, somebody with greater than 1% walks in the front door and says, I need this thing right now, I'm not equipped to do that, even if I'd like to. Right? And so I think that there's a couple of different places where capacity can bite us in the butt. And
Excellent.
one of those is time, right? I cannot fit 13 hours worth of stuff into an 8-hour workday and still have the quality be something that I'm proud of.
Exactly. And that, I bet we'll talk about it, but that trade-off becomes a big part of dealing with capacity.
Right. Totally. And so a line that I've used with myself when I'm asked to do things that go outside of capacity, as well as with several corporate clients, who, you have to kind of speak a certain way. If you're at a Fortune 500 company, like, they expect a certain level of decorum that maybe you and I wouldn't need to adhere to, right? Like, I could just text you if we had an episode scheduled and I just did not have space for it, and say, Justin, I need this to shift. I'm like fucking up to my eyeballs, and you'd say, okay, bet, cool. You can't do that at an insurance company.
Well, yeah, and it's not that they couldn't handle that, but it would be culturally inappropriate, I would say. That's not how
Right.
that culture works. There are certain expectations, and we stray outside of them. It's weird, or it's wrong, or it won't get received the way you want it to. As opposed
Right.
with me, you can just be like, bro, I'm fucking toasted. That is culturally aligned, I would say.
um, so a line that I have coached some folks to give, if they are noticing, hey, my time workload bucket is full, and I know that the quality of my work is going to decrease, or hey, I'm up to my eyeballs, like I'm so stressed at work, I don't know how I'm going to take on this project, and then that's starting to bleed into other areas of their life, as is common, right? Am I the best person equipped to do this? Or conversely, is there anybody else better equipped to handle this request? And then if the answer is no, it's got to be you, you're the best person for it. Okay, understood. What on my plate can shift to allow this to be prioritized?
100%. I was going
Right?
to say,
I want,
well, yeah.
yeah, I want to prioritize this for you. I hear that it's important. And if I do this, something else is going to fall off. I would like to give you the opportunity to tell me what that something that can pause is.
Yeah. Like, which do you want to deprioritize so we can move this? We're
Mm-hmm.
agreeing. I'm agreeing with
Mm-hmm.
you. You say this is a big priority. I'm the person who has to do it. Okie doke. I have all of these other things. What are we going to agree to knock down the to-do list so this can get on top?
Right.
And then
And
we'll be
so,
on the same page.
yep, let's apply this into a fitness lens, because I think a lot of the people that listen to us are on that bandwagon in some way. If I have 20 minutes of time capacity to move my body, I cannot expect to get through a 10 set program, right? I need the program to meet me where I am. And so that's a conversation that if you have a coach, you should have with your coach. Hey, sessions this week are too long. It's not going to happen. I want to stay in the rhythm. Can you either trim them or tell me, hey, I want you to do block A and block C and call it a day?
I do this. Oh, I bet you do too. I do this all the time, especially with remote clients.
Oh, yeah.
When a client is, especially if we're on like a kind of a longer cycle or longer program, and it tends to be people who are pretty committed and pretty good at getting stuff done, and are suddenly come to me with the issue dilemma. My life just got crazy. This happened, or the kids' daycare went to pieces, or work is pulling this, or oops, I got elected to this committee at school and now I have to go do these things. I don't I don't have this kind of time anymore. So I'm going to miss my workouts. And I say, okay, well, is there, if there's zero time, then we shouldn't try and force a workout in there. And they'll often come back with, well, no, I have 25 minutes, but sometimes I have an hour. So I don't want, and this is the tension sometimes. I don't want you
Mm-hmm.
to give me a 20-minute workout because I might be able to get a 60-minute workout in.
Yeah.
And my usual solution to that is, great, I'm going to write your workout in priority order. This is the most important thing will be first. The second most important thing will be second, which means at any moment you can stop and you've done the most important things. You don't have to worry about not getting to what you didn't get to or doing something wrong. So if you
Mm-hmm.
only have 15 or 20 minutes, maybe you get the warm up and 2 working sets in. Perfect. That was the most important thing. You nailed it.
Yeah. And speaking to, if there's anybody who's newer to coaching listening to this, that is exactly the way you should be writing your workouts anyway,
Yeah,
for the most part. Like there are some like very fringe exceptions, but without diving into the nuances of that, the most important and or most challenging thing should be first all the time.
yeah, which is also usually the biggest drain, usually like muscularly
Yeah.
and or neurologically.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there are some outliers and exceptions, especially in like quote unquote rehab world, but
Right.
mostly it's, start with the big rocks and with the accessories.
Yeah. And with sand.
Yes.
Good call out. So another place where capacity can get a little sneaky with us is with fuel level. And I call it fuel because I'm putting sleep and food together in a bucket, right? If we're in a period of time where we know that either sleep or nutrition are going to take a plummet for reasons outside of our control, see a new puppy, a sick kid, a new kid, a change in daylight savings. Maybe you live in a climate where it's going to be bright 24 hours of the day and you are not quite adjusted to that. Maybe it's travel, right? And then on the food end, maybe we have to do a colonoscopy prep. Maybe we have to get some blood work done. Maybe you're going to be traveling and not have access to the types of food that you would normally eat at home, right? If we're not fueled appropriately, meaning I am well rested and I am well nutritioned, your capacity is going to be lower, and deciding, oh, hey, yeah, I have, a 3-rep back squat program today because it's peak week, is unlikely to go well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Shocker.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
be surprised when it's not great.
Right. Yeah. And so how this might look for somebody practically is, well, yeah, I always train on Wednesday mornings, but this Wednesday I have to get some blood work done. I have the first appointment of the day. It's at 8:00, but I normally have breakfast at 5. So instead, I'm just going to get breakfast right after, and then I'm going to work out over lunch. That's probably not going to go the way you thought it might.
Yeah, exactly. And it might be you may be able to work out. You are extremely unlikely to be at sort of peak performance mode because of these
Yeah.
confounding factors.
Right. And in the moment, you might just be like, it's just like 5 hours later. Why would it matter? Where us coaches behind the screen are reading your notes and like brain is exploding inside of our skull.
Which is also, I think that's an underappreciated value of having a coach, like an objective third party eye who's a little bit removed from the chaos that is everyone's individual life. It's very hard to see the stuff and see the patterns when you're the one doing it sometimes. But when I can call, someone's history up and go back and be like, hey, so the past 4 Thursdays have been real rough. What's going on? Let's say starting at noontime on Wednesday. And they're like, fucking travel soccer, man. I hate it. I hate why do kids travel so much? I hate travel soccer. And you're like, got it. Okay. So let me get, you're driving 2 hours to watch kids play soccer poorly in the rain for 3 hours to drive 2 hours home. You don't bring yourself any food, snacks or anything, maybe some caffeine. And you're shoving, you're stopping at the pizza place so everyone can eat in the car on the way home. How close am I? Oh, great. And the track work,
nailed it.
6 a.m. Thursday morning isn't just like smooth as silk. I'm assuming we're not quitting travel ball, even though it sounds like it might be the move. So why don't we adjust Thursdays?
Right. Why don't we pivot? I had a client this week who might listen to this. I adore her. She's just incredible. She is a dual nutrition and movement client.
Mm-hmm.
And the habit that she's currently practicing is around hunger and fullness cues. And like
so
noticing,
tricky.
Right, tricky. They're not all like that. Some of them are like, hey, let's make sure that we're eating a vegetable 2 times a day, right? But some of them, once we get kind of into the weeds, it's, hey, noticing when am I actually hungry? When am I actually full? And not necessarily like shaming or making different choices if I choose to eat or not eat when that's not true, but just, hey, I'm intentionally dialing up awareness. And said, hey, I stopped having hunger cues. I just can't, or fullness cues. I just can't really seem to get full anymore. I don't feel full anymore. And so my question was, what else is going on in your life right now that you feel stressed about?
Yeah.
And just like a laundry list of stuff happening. I'm like, okay. So can you see how we're maybe kind of in a heightened, elevated state, and that it might feel difficult for your body to communicate these cues to you because we're up here? It's like, oh, yeah, obviously, it didn't even take your reply for me to realize that. Once I started thinking about all the things that are going on, I was like, yeah, no shit, you're not having fullness cues because your body is not getting what it needs in other ways. And so it's acting like a grizzly bear on Fat Bear Week.
Yep.
Right? We're gonna create a hoarding situation here because I don't know when the next drought is gonna be.
Yeah, and it can't hear the signals because you're also staring at a screen and emailing with one hand while you're
Right.
shoveling food in your face. And every time that hand gets freed up, you're also drinking something to get the food down faster because you're not really
Right.
chewing, which is messing up your signals and messing up your digestion. And
Right.
yeah, solved
Yeah.
it.
Right. I think this is an important time for just a brief side quest that I think should be its own episode at some point.
Excellent.
Digestion is a north to south process.
Correct.
Right.
Well,
What
up
is
to down, but
yeah, okay.
I'm just saying.
What is the tallest point of your body? What lives there, right? It's your brain, right? It starts up here. And so if I'm not actually thinking about the food that I'm going to be eating because I'm so focused on the emails that I need to send or the presentation that I'm a part of, um, becoming aware that we're about to be eating, as primitive as it sounds, creates the right kind of enzymes in your saliva that assist you in digesting better later. And so if we skip that portion, we're actually setting up from the initial like starting line. I'm not well tuned at this point to digest optimally.
Yeah, it's a whole problem. And there's been numerous studies at this point that show people who are really stressed while they're eating and multitasking chew less, which so they're triggering fewer satiety hormones about being full
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. They're also literally getting less nutrition from their food because the chewing
Yeah.
process is how we mash it up and get all that good stuff out. So you're also not getting everything you want to be getting from your food when you get your like flipping $18 healthy salad bowl because you're trying so hard to be good, but are then just like shoveling it down while you email. You're missing a bunch of the stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
We're
we
missing the
should probably do a
stuff.
whole episode on that.
We're going to do it.
Yeah.
I feel really inspired about that. I dipped. It's mine. It's for me.
Great. All yours.
Great.
I'm excited to talk about poop charts.
Hey, the rate your Bristol stool is one of my intake questions. So, like, hey, if it's normal, we don't have to ever talk about it again.
Yeah.
The third piece, sickness.
Huge.
There is a common misconception that I can sweat it out. Right? I'm feeling a little under the weather, but I'm confident I'll be able to sweat it out. Like just get a really good like gnarly sweat session and I'll feel better after. Okay, great. If your body needs extra energy and capacity and space in your bucket to heal and you pour a bunch of water in with a 40-minute Metcon, it has that much less space to do the thing that it's really trying to do. And so I hear you, like, it feels good, you get some sweat going, I feel better in my body. Not helpful from a healing perspective.
Yeah, and it's counterintuitive in a lot of ways, right? Because when you're doing the, what's the word I'm trying to go? Starts with an S, means hard, strenuous. When you're doing strenuous exercise, you get a bunch of dopamine. Dopamine's cool.
Right.
Dopamine feels great. So you're doing it and you're sweating and you're getting all these pleasure chemicals firing your brain and you say, great, I'm feeling better. This is so good. I'm glad I made a good decision. Flash forward to 4 hours later when you're actually feeling worse than you did before. You don't understand because it was going so well. What did I do wrong in the past 3 hours? Nothing. You sapped your energy for a short-term win in kind of a medium-term loss.
Right. It's a acceptable form of drugs.
100%. And I'm not against it, but
Yeah.
it's not the solution to, sadly, like many drugs, it's not actually the solution to everything.
And then I think on the other end of sickness too, it can be really tempting to be like, I've been laid up for 10 to 14 days. Like when I get sick, I'm sick for a minute. There is no
Mhm.
like 2 days later I wake up feeling better. There is, okay, we're in this. It's going to be 2 weeks until I can breathe through my nose again.
Board the room up. I'll check on her in a
Right.
fortnight.
Just like, please, just build me into this room. I will exist here. And it can be really tempting on the first day that we're back to feeling normal to jump back in right where we were.
Yep. Such a huge problem. We talked about this with injury before too. Like the
Yeah.
first day someone's
It's so
back or
dangerous.
knee or shoulders feeling okay. Like, all right, I'm going to go. You had this earlier this week.
I did. I I've been dealing with a shoulder on and off for the better part of the last 5 years. And have been intentionally avoiding some of the things that aggravate it and intentionally doing some of the things that ease while doing an appropriate amount of dosing of the right kind of ags. And was in a situation in the new group class place that I'm trying out where there was a core work option hanging from the bar. There was another one on the ground. And I just was like, it's been a really long time since I've tried to get on a bar. And I feel that this is a really supportive environment that if I decide to do this and then shift, nobody will even like notice or say anything. Like I'm not marrying this movement. And hopped up, did a bunch of knee raises hanging from a bar and had absolutely no shoulder discomfort at all. So I texted you and said that. And the answer was like, should probably max out your jerk.
Yeah. Why don't we just do like 30 kipping pull-ups and see how it feels?
Right. Just to see.
Yeah, but
Right.
that's getting back to sickness rather. That's the spectrum we're talking about of going from, oh, I don't feel awful doesn't mean you're at peak performance level ready to
No.
take on the world.
And unless you are a professional athlete whose income, livelihood, and reputation hinges upon you doing the thing that day as it's planned, it's probably in your best interest to reload into the level that you were doing. And if you're not certain how to do that, I would recommend finding a coach. And we're happy to be your proxy coaches if you'd like that.
This is sometimes a really hard conversation to have with people, like limiting them or like telling them that you don't believe they're ready for something yet. And it sometimes gets taken as an insult or that you think less of them or that you think they can't do it or a challenge. And walking people down that road of, no, you're good. I really don't want to have a setback that knocks you back 3, 6, 9 weeks, whatever. If we can just hang on for 8 more days and test
Right.
out a few things and make sure it's as good as we think it is, then we're off to the races. And then depending on the person, a lot of times they'll say, oh, that makes sense. Thank you very much. Occasionally I will get a note the next day like, ran 5 miles even after we talked. Feels okay, but something's definitely going on in my knee. And I usually just close my head in the door a couple of times.
Right. That's also, I think, can be some of the best opportunities to build trust with a client.
Yeah.
As much as we hate to see it happen, it does happen that people encounter obstacles of their own making. And one of the coolest trust building exercises is the like, yeah, no, dummy, I wasn't trying to punish you. I was trying to make sure that you could do the shift that you want to do 10 days from now without caring if you do it today.
You said this was your goal. Is that your goal or is running 5 miles today your goal? Okay. Tell me honestly, because we can do either, but I don't think we can do both.
I don't think we can do both. Yeah. It's important to mention, but I don't want to dive into it because we have a whole episode on it already, and we kind of already touched on it a little already here. Your stage of recovery or readiness from injury return.
Yeah, for
If
sure.
you would like to
Mostly,
hear us,
yeah.
yeah, if you would like to hear us gab on this in detail, go back to the I Got Hurt Now What episode. That dives into I got hurt now what, right? The most dangerous day in injury recovery is the first day that you feel 100 because you feel better before the tissue is actually ready to return to the thing that you were doing immediately prior to the injury.
Yeah, it feels okay, but it's not just like coming the first day when you wake up and the fever is broken. You're not 100%. It's just not terrible. There's a lot of room between not terrible and ready to really rock and roll in the way a lot of people want to.
That's right. Consider it like yellow light. Like, yes, but just be aware.
Yes, but
Yes, but. Yes, but. Pivoting into stress, which I think has a lot of different subcategories to it. It might be stress at work. It might be stress with family. It might be financial stress. It might be the, how do I want to say this, political climate in which you are dwelling, right?
in which we currently
Um,
find ourselves.
yeah, listen, have you been on the internet today? You have probably experienced political stress, regardless of what side of the aisle you're on. These are all things that I think are the trickiest for people to kind of like wrap their head around. Well, like, yeah, that's just my life. Like, I don't I don't really need to be aware of how that is shifting. Like, no, but we really do. Right? It's so important to be aware of how stress is fluctuating for you and not necessarily use that to limit and say, I don't have any space to work out, but saying, hey, I'm in a more stressful season of life and it might punt me right on over the limit if I decide to keep training at the intensity that I have been.
And it might call for a little bit of a stress audit, which I do with people all the time
Oh,
of
yeah.
walking through like, all right, what's hard? I agree. All of those things are hard. What of this do we have control over? And what of it do we need to like find ways to manage? By which I
Right.
mean you may or may not have control over what like upper management is sending down the pipe toward your department. There's perhaps a limited amount you can do, but we can talk about how you manage that stress when it shows up, occasionally having conversations about capacity.
Uh-huh.
And or I don't know, is scrolling TikTok for 3 hours making your life better? It sounds like it's making your life worse. I don't know that you're necessarily better informed. You're just more outraged and more angry and more worried. You had all the information 2 hours and 45 minutes ago. So there might be a
Right.
trade-off to have that could happen here also.
Right. I have used the analogy in the past as well, of there are only so many balls that you can juggle at once. And I like to take that even a step further of looking at, okay, which ones are glass? And if they drop, are going to be
Yeah.
irreparably damaged. Which ones are rubber? And if they're dropped, they're going to bounce. Like they'll be easy to pick back up when I have the space for them. And which ones are bubbles and are actually not things that you need to be juggling at all? You see them, they're in your repertoire, right? They're there. I see this bubble. And at some point, it's going to go away on its own. It's going to pop. And so I don't need to be focusing a ton of my stress and mental energy on the bubble in trade off of dropping something that's glass. Right. And
Yeah,
so
I really
for
like that.
some people, yeah, it might look like their fitness is a rubber ball. Right. For some people, it's more of a glass ball. Right. If we're rehabbing from something acute and we know that the more progress we're able to make upfront is going to set us up for a better recovery later. That's probably something that we need to prioritize. And so we need to figure out, okay, what are the things that are rubber and what are the things that are bubbles?
Yeah, that's a beautiful way of looking at it. Like what of course do we need to hang on to? What can we put aside for later? And what actually isn't on the list and doesn't
Right.
need to be a part of this concern?
Right. And when we're thinking about the stress lens, we might not be able to affect any of the stress at all, right? The things that are putting water in our bucket that are causing us stress, but we can almost always affect our sympathetic or parasympathetic state, either to be more or less advantageous. And I'll say that in like non-sciencey words as well.
Right.
Are we in a fight or flight, or are we in a rest and digest? Is your body elevated, heart rate's a little higher, difficult to deviate from tasks, or are we a little chiller? We've returned to some of our baseline data markers if you're somebody who uses something that tracks those. We have the ability with breath work to influence that state of being. And so it feels like just super woo woo to talk to with people if they're unfamiliar with this concept. But
Yeah.
okay, I hear you. Could we try box breathing for 2 minutes and see if this feels a little better? And by box breathing, I mean
Yep.
a 4-second inhale, a 4-second hold, a 4-second exhale, a 4-second hold, right? For some clients who I know are often coming to me like already in an elevated state, I'll actually like, okay, step 1, lay down. I'm going to stand right next to you and I'm going to count quietly. 1, 2, 3, 4, hold 1, 2. And like just kind of watch them like be
Yeah.
absorbed into the ground. Like, do you feel better?
Oh, look, I can see your ears because your shoulders are dropping.
Right. Right. And so as woo-woo as it sounds and feels, if you're somebody who's listening to this and is like, yeah, I hear you, and none of this stress is going away, what can I do about it? You can influence your ability to process it.
And it literally, it's not making it go away. It's making you better equipped to deal with it.
Yeah.
Like 3 physiological sighs is like taking a little, like, I don't know, half dose of stress dealing with steroids. Like,
Yeah.
oh, suddenly I have more room. Suddenly, like, my focus has expanded a little bit and my tunnel vision is melted away. And now I understand what's important and what is maybe less important.
Yeah. Totally. The last thing I want to talk about when we talk about honoring capacity is your cyclical or life season. And we could probably do a whole episode on this too. I don't really feel super inspired by that. So if you want to do it, that would be wonderful. Menstrual cycle, prenatal or postpartum, and perimenopause, right?
There's
They,
people who don't have uteruses also have life cycles. I feel
yeah,
compelled. I don't want
no,
to be like
totally.
not all men here, but like I've gone through seasons of my life too.
Totally. I'm thinking of this from like a cyclical perspective, like
Right.
a menstruation cyclical, not just.
Oh, the menstrual cycle. I didn't, you just said cyclical, and cyclical just means cyclical.
Sure. Sure.
Okay.
I understand. This is a good lesson for me on precision of language. Thank you.
I
Um,
expect a parade in my honor.
Men also experience life seasons.
Yes.
Is that better?
Well, people, we're talking about life seasons, but it's
Yeah, just
based
talking about
around
people.
menstrual cycle, and how that changes and how that evolves through life is really
Right.
important.
Right. I do want to make it really, really clear where I stand on like cycle syncing with workouts. That is hogwash. It's not supported by science. There are a lot of people more qualified and better eloquently able to tell you that that's bullshit. One of them is Dr. Alyssa Olenek. I think her handle is Doc Liss or Little Liss.
Dockless Fitness?
Doc Liss
She's a
Fitness,
delight. I
maybe?
met her a while back.
Really? I
Yeah, she's
am
great.
going on her trip to Peru next
Oh,
July.
dope. That's
I'm
right.
very excited about it. Um, she has put together a number of really wonderful and dense science-backed pieces about this. Check out her Instagram if you want a little more information about this. But um, it's pseudoscience. It's kind of crap. If somebody is selling you a cycle honoring program, just know that everybody's cycle, when I say menstrual cycle, affects them differently. And for somebody to say this is how we need to train within the hormonal rhythms of a woman's menstruation, it's just bullshit. It's just it's trash.
Unfortunately, it's bullshit. Like, it would be great
It'd be
if
great.
you could
It'd
take
be
these
great.
and lay it out, and even like maybe a tiny bit of like timing or testing with someone, and you could say, I know the perfect cycle, and we can repeat this every 6 weeks with these kind of intensities and these kind of inputs, and it would be like that would be cool, which is part of the there's
Yeah.
always like an appeal to these things. Like, it's very appealing to be able to get that specific and kind of solve part of the problem before it arises. But
Right.
unfortunately, on almost any kind of cursory examination, it all falls apart.
Right. And that's because the experience of that hormonal shift, whether it's in menstruation, whether it's in the motherhood transition, whether it's in perimenopause, is different for everybody. And so we want you and encourage you to honor your available capacity that is true for you, right? So if you know, hey, I feel like absolute trash in the luteal phase, excellent. We probably still should train because that's likely to make you feel better. And also, it's even more important that you honor your RPE, which is your rate of perceived exertion, and not percentage based work or pace based work, right? Hey, what is 80% for me today? Or what is 60% for me today? Or what would a max out set not to exceed 20 reps be today? Maybe it was 15 when I was ovulating, but maybe it needs to be like 10s today because I just feel like trash.
And it may be what was, what your luteal phase looked like 6 months ago, and what it looks like today may be radically different. Like,
Right.
you might come in and suddenly just be like a lioness tearing up weights and having a day, and it's amazing.
Yep.
Like, also part of the problem with the cycle honoring program stuff is it doesn't let people thrive when they have the opportunity to thrive all
Right.
the time.
Right. When the pan's hot, you should cook.
Pans out, gotta
And
cook.
if you've been fed and believed the lie that, well, I can't lift heavy when I'm menstrual, you might deprive yourself of an incredible training day for something that's just not even correct.
Be wary of anyone who ever tells you you aren't capable of something and they don't deeply know your situation.
Right. Oh, well, it's a bleed day for you, so it's going to be a low output. Bitch,
Like,
you
I know
thought.
people who like bleed 22 days out of the month, that's not the funny part, but you can't be like, oh, well, we're going to go sedentary for 3 weeks a month. Like, no, this is a big thing that has to be managed, and we have
Right.
to find ways to work with it, not just hope that it blows over, because that's not where life
Right.
is right now.
Right. And if you're listening to this and you're somebody who has a very, very difficult cycle or a difficult perimenopausal journey, that's valid too, right?
Of course.
I know for me, there are 2 days out of the month that I am basically supine. Like it feels terrible, terrible to even attempt like the lightest body honoring stuff. And so I know, okay, great. I am gonna not do anything at all on these days if I can avoid it. Like, even just carrying laundry downstairs can be
Mhm.
too great of an ask. And it would not be honoring my capacity to say, oh, well, but I'm supposed to split squat today. Absolutely not.
No,
That's not going to be the flex. It's not
no.
happening.
And even if you were able to do it, it would likely dig you a hole. And you're so
Right.
close to capacity. Now we open the door to like injuries and things going sideways in weird ways you don't understand. But you next month might be different. You don't really know.
Right.
You can plan for it. I've had this with you probably have too. I've taken at this point a number of clients through multiple pregnancies,
Yeah.
and people are always blown away by how different the pregnancies are. Not
Hmm.
not always radically for everyone, but I've had a number of people who, this on the second one are like, all right, well, I know how this works. This is what we're going to do in the first trimester. This is what we're going to do here. We're going to plan for this. This was rough here, and it's going to be like that. And I say, if it's just like that, our life will be easier. We shouldn't expect it. We're going to treat this like the one of one that it is and see how it goes, because baby one, first trimester was a breeze. Baby two, we have immediate morning sickness in week 8. And like, oh,
Right.
that's really early. It's true. And this might go on for a while. And it
Yeah.
seems like there's no rhyme or reason, but now we have to honor that and deal with that. Pretending that you're cool is not going to make everything cool. That's not how it works.
Right. Totally. This reminds me of a story that maybe I'll tell you, and maybe I don't. Let's close the door on honoring capacity, and then I'd like to tell you the moment I became aware that I was still gonna be sick my second pregnancy.
Okay.
It's really it's a pretty good story.
Mm.
Um, do you think there's anything else that we should add to honoring capacity?
Maybe only doubling back on the quality thing we talked about, especially when you're
Mm-hmm.
doing tasks or trying to like have an output. It's that the old freelancer thing where you can have it quick, cheap, or good, and you only get to pick two. And that's
Right.
kind of true all the time for people. And if you put the cheap in, like how much capacity it's going to take you,
Yeah.
that's part of it. Like you can do it fast and you can do it cheap. It's not going to be as good. I would encourage people, it's especially people who get really stressed. Sometimes they can get tunnel vision of trying to make everything perfect. In that same discussion of like the glass balls versus rubber balls, there's some things that just need to be good enough. There's some
Yeah.
things that just need to be fine. Cook some stupid, not entirely good rice and put the frozen chicken breasts in the oven, 5 pounds of them. Great. You've got food. Yeah. Is it amazing? No. Is it going to work? Yeah, it's going to be fine.
Is it food?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't beat yourself up about, oh, I didn't do this amazing meal prep and make 4 different roasted vegetables. And that's all right. 4 days from now, you get a chance to try again. But there's
Right.
lots of things at work. Don't remember, everyone is instantly replaceable. If you work for someone else, like before your funeral is announced, someone will be hired and doing your work for you. So pick the things that need to be really good. And there's a lot of
Yeah.
stuff that, 75% is fine. And don't let,
Right.
tunnel vision on things that don't really matter sap the energy you need for the things that really do matter, whether it's your own fitness or managing your relationships or dealing with your recovery or things like that.
Right. Because when we talk about, circling back to the question, is there anyone better equipped to do this? Or am I the only person who can do this? When it comes to caring for your body, you actually are the only person who can do it.
Nobody
Right.
else
Like
can.
nobody else can. You can't delegate that to anybody else. And so I would encourage you to find a way to pivot that into a priority and look at things from a lens of, okay, what do I have available to give?
Yeah, completely. I agree.
Yeah. What else?
I think we did a pretty good job, especially with no notes, no research.
Sick. No research, no notes. Thank you. This was very stressful. We did it. Can I tell you when I discovered I was going to be vomiting with Jack Jack?
Please.
So I had hyperemesis with both of my pregnancies, which for anybody listening who does not know what that is, it is morning sickness on steroids. You exist to vomit. If I were in the Barbie movie, my job would be vomit. Just atrocious. Like often somewhere between 8 and 18 times a day, every day for almost 40 straight weeks. And so with Walter, it kicked in like basically right after I found out I was pregnant. Right. And with Jack Jack, I had about 2 weeks because I tested really, really early, like 8 days post ovulation, like very early.
Wow.
Wow.
You're like, well, oh, good.
Well, oh, good. Yeah, I actually had a mental breakdown at 7 days post because I was like certain, and the test came back negative and like totally, totally melted down. And then 1 day later, it's like, oh, haha, that was funny. Anyway, 2 weeks of no symptoms at all. It's like, oh my God, am I going to be free of this pregnancy? Incredible. This would be so wonderful. And so Ted and I had a date day planned. We were going to be going to a Buckeye football game. We were not taking Walter. We had a sitter. And I really love steak. Like, I could eat steak every day, and I order it rare. Love steak. And so we decided it was going to be a really good idea to go to Texas de Brazil.
Oh, okay. Going big. Yep. All right.
Because, like, there's just going to be a lot of different steak available to us at this kind of like fixed price.
And I'm assuming this is Brazilian steakhouse, like Fogo de Chao,
correct.
for people who haven't. Okay, yeah, great.
Yeah, that's correct. And so at the exact moment that these very eccentrically clad wait staff are walking around the room with trays of fragrant meat and presenting it to you and like waving it in front of your face, is the moment where I realized I am in fact still going to be sick this pregnancy. And we had to not eat and leave. I was like, there's like swirling meat around, and at a place like that you prepay for the seat, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how much you eat.
Yeah, they're
It
not
doesn't
tracking
matter
it.
how long you are, right? You don't get leftovers to take home, and it's like upscale all you can eat. And so as it turns out, all I could eat was nothing, and we had to leave.
And you couldn't even be in the room with it because
I couldn't even be in the room. It was like,
awful.
I'm gonna drop dead.
Oh, that's brutal. That's like some like twisted Clockwork Orange stuff. Like Jack programmed you to hate steak. Like, really?
Right. Like, I actually do still quite love it. But like, when I think about where is the worst place you could be when you realize that you're about to vomit, Brazilian steakhouse is like pretty high on that list.
That's up there.
So,
that's a bad one.
Yeah. So with both of my pregnancies, the last time that I vomited was the day I gave birth. So, thank you to them.
And you don't want to do this again?
No. Oh my God. No. No, absolutely not. He got a vasectomy at like 3 weeks postpartum. Like, no, we're gonna leave absolutely
Like,
zero
for
doubt
real
here.
done. Yeah.
For real done.
Yeah.
Like, I am never doing this to her again. Yep. Great. Very good.
Yeah. Well done.
Should we do a segment?
Let's do a segment.
Okay.
So this is one of the formats that I tend to love, which is 2 things that are true and 1 some shit I made up, or 2 truths and a lie, whichever you prefer.
Great.
So we're doing 2 truths and a lie supplement edition.
Oh, perfect.
So I have 2 supplements that are real and 1 that is some shit I made up, and you need to tell me, I guess, which is the fake one.
Great.
I'm just going to give you the names. If you would like, I do have a short description of every supplement, if that will help you nail down. But we can just start with names. You can, I figure you can ask for a description, sort of like asking the word to be used in a sentence in a spelling bee.
I am familiar with spelling bees, so this is great. I'm ready to go.
I am unsurprised. Round 1, we have Bucked Up Woke AF, Beast Fuel Extreme, or Gorilla Mode.
Bucked Up is real.
She says with confidence.
Can you use Gorilla Mode in a sentence?
Gorilla Mode, potent high-stim pre-workout focused on pump, focus, and extreme energy.
That feels real. We'll say Beast Mode is not real.
Correct. Well done.
Thank you.
Round 2. We have Rampage Reactor. We have Rise Godzilla. Rise is RYSE. And Mr. Hyde Signature. It should be said that a lot of these are pre-workouts. Pre-workouts kind of have the best names.
Right. Of course. I think Rise is not real, because if it were real, it would be spelled with a Z.
Unfortunately, Rise is real. Rise actually makes a ton of different pre-workouts, and I had to decide what stupid Rise names I wanted in here. Rampage Reactor is not correct. Is not real.
Oh,
I
all
know.
right.
Someone could steal that. It's a good one. Round 3. Axe and Sledge intake. Mutant Mind FK. I believe it's meant to be pronounced Mutant Mind Fuck. And Power Freak 360.
What is Power Freak 360?
Energizes your full kinetic chain in a 360-degree power wave.
That's not a supplement. That's got to be like a vibrating disc.
Is that your answer?
That is my answer. That's not real.
You're correct. It is not real. Round 4. We have Amino Lean, Godzilla Gains Max, and Oxy Shred Hardcore.
Say the first one again.
Amino Lean.
Okay, say the second one again.
Godzilla Gains Max.
I think that one's fake.
You're correct. I thought it would get you because there was a Godzilla earlier that was real.
No, I'm too smart for this.
All right. Next round, we have Legend X Bubblicious. We have Savage, spelled Thavage. So TH starts it. Savage. And Candy Rush FX.
It's Wabbit season. That can't be real. That's only an idiot would buy that.
Savage is Chris Bumstead's flagship pre-workout. I don't know if
I don't get
I know
it.
who Chris Bumstead is. I don't know if I've ever heard him speak. I don't think he has a lisp. So I don't really understand why we're doing that with the name. All right, we got two more.
Oh gosh, continue. I have so many questions.
We have Insane Labs Psychotic Gold. Labs is spelled with a Z. We have Black Magic Berserk. Berserk is spelled with no vowels, so BZRK. And Turbo Pump X99.
I think the first one is fake.
First one is real. Insane Labs Psychotic Gold, an extreme stim pre-workout known for intense focus and energy. I made up Turbo Pump X99.
Wow, I bet it's got a lot of beta-alanine.
So much beta-alanine. All right, last one. And no pressure, but you're 3-3. So this will determine if you have a winning record or not.
Shit.
We have Bravo Surge. We have Powder Burn 2.0. And we have Hooligan Bare Knuckle.
I'm going to need more information on all three, please.
So Bravo Surge surges into heroic energy zones. Strength meets swagger. Powder Burn 2.0. Balanced formula for clean, moderate energy with no crash. And Hooligan Bare Knuckle, powerhouse formula focusing purely on pump and focus.
The first one's fake.
It's correct. Bravo Surge is some shit I made up. I couldn't believe the Hooligan Bare Knuckle was real. I was like, what?
Hooligan Bare Knuckle. You know, for the right person, that really speaks to them.
It is my notes say that it's a stimulant-free pre-workout. So I think that's the bare knuckle. Like, it's not like gloves would be stimulants and taking the gloves off is stimulant-free. Maybe. I don't really know.
Or like maybe like Hooligan Bear Claws has stimulants in it.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, you said bear claw, and I just thought of a big donut. And I was like, I don't know if hooligans do bear claws. I mean, everyone likes a bear claw, but you know. Yeah.
I'm more of a cruller fan myself.
Love a cruller. That was my go-to growing up. Kind of like if I was allowed to get a candy bar, I would get Twizzlers just because it felt like more. It wasn't even that. I do like licorice, but I was like, oh, if I get Twizzlers, like this candy will last forever. I was like, but the cruller's so much more donut. I don't understand why I can get that. Like, I'm definitely going to get that because it's going to last longer.
Right.
Yeah,
or
for sure.
White frosting, rainbow sprinkles.
I'm going to depart with you there.
That's okay. You don't have to like all the things I like.
Yeah. Ain't it the truth? That's okay. Just more rainbow sprinkles for you.
That's right. More rainbow sprinkles, more Taylor Swift.
More Taylor Swift. We didn't even talk about that. This is
No, we didn't.
the thing dropped this week.
I
The
have
new
been
album.
listening to it basically nonstop. It's very good. Yeah. I have also found a way to turbocharge my productivity by using my new record player and basically like creating a external feedback point for, hey, the whole time this is going, you're working on this task.
Totally.
Right? It's like somewhere between 20 and 40 minutes.
Right, for one side.
Right. And then I have to get up and change it. And potentially, like, if I'm still in it and productive, awesome, great, I'll go right back to that task or switch to something else and say, great, I'm here until it ends.
Yeah, that's a great little hack.
It's been good.
I love tricks like that.
It's been really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's been great.
Dope.
So we'll keep doing it. Bought a couple more records. So
a couple more?
Yeah. Like 2. But I'm going to buy more. Not of the same album.
Oh, okay. That's what I was going. I was like, tell me you didn't buy 4 special editions.
No, I don't have any special editions, in fact.
Okay.
I have the one that I bought.
Right.
I do have a little bit of regret because I pre-ordered the like Portofino Orange Sparkle edition, which is just like the one that you could walk into a store and buy right now.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'd already done that, I decided not to order the like very cool, moody, marbled green, transparent edition because nothing is different about it except for the color. But it was a limited pressing and it was only available for like 36 hours. And I have a little bit of regret that I didn't do that. But I think at this point she's up to like somewhere between 12 and 15 special variant versions, which is just, I mean, it's just absurd.
What in the Disney world is this? Like, how many ways are there to squeeze money out of people who like me? Right. I'm sorry. Like, come on.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. I'm a huge fan of her and I like her music and I like most of what she stands for. I wish she was a little more vocal on some of the hot button issues of the day, but also acknowledging that like because she is as famous as she is, there are very real safety issues to speaking out against things. Which I don't know. I mean, we could probably do a whole podcast about that, but she has made her stances clear in the past, and so I don't think she necessarily needs to talk about everything that is happening all the time. Like that's not her role in the ecosystem, but
yeah, it's yeah, we could do a whole thing about this, not to dive down a rabbit hole, but I get pulled in the like expecting celebrities and musicians and artists to also be, first of all, like informed or smart or any good at talking about worldly issues isn't always fair.
That's not their job.
No, and a bunch of them aren't good at it and aren't smart and don't know how to do that. Like, let them do their art. I do feel when someone makes their life and their personality and their being, especially like that parasocial relationship with their fans, such a central part of the product, the thing that they are, at least the part that they're willing to share with people, then it's very reasonable to start asking questions of like, oh, why do you talk about this and not that? Or why do you support this and not that? Like,
no, we're gonna gloss over that. Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna sail on through and release the Avengers. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah. Right. I have been really entertained to witness like Travis's engagement with the media. Because it's very clear that since starting to date her, he's gone through some PR training.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is
even
like
more
hilarious.
So. Like you get some in the NFL, but this is different.
Right. This is different. And so it's been funny to like watch some side by side clips like, oh yeah, Tree Paine got to you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. This is someone has told you what to do. No one expects you to be the brains of the operation. Got it.
No. Nobody. There are a lot of things that Travis is expected to be, but the brains of the operation is not on that list.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else we should talk about?
I don't think so. I think we covered it.
Sweet. Team, thanks for joining us. It's been a pleasure to have you. I'm Weezy Shoemaker. That's Justin McClintock. We'll see you next time.
Later, gang.
Here come your training partners, so smart, so strong, so funny. Let's go with your training partners. We're ready to shine.